All right, welcome back. We've got a crypto market update. It's been a wild week this week. A lot of green candles here. There's been a lot of news as well, so we'll talk about the news. We'll talk about price action. My next price target on Bitcoin as we're knocking on the door of 100,000. But before we get into that, crypto is very risky. Read the disclaimer down below. Watch the video down below. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. 99% of crypto is going to go to zero, so be very skeptical for things that are out there and really go in with a plan. This is not the time to be just throwing a ton of cash in. This is a very skeptical time to be deploying a ton of money in because we've just been on a parabolic move. So let's quickly talk about the price action. If you've been watching my videos all throughout the trough here, I've talked about once we start breaking out, we're looking to reach the new all-time high. We finally breached that in the spring. Then the next target was 100,000. I'm hoping we can hit that maybe tonight, but hopefully for sure by the end of this year. And those were the two main targets I had on my mind. I wasn't thinking much further after that. I wanted to reach those two checkpoints before I really got analytical on what's the next step. I do think long term there is a potential for $1 million Bitcoin, and I will talk about why, but I'm not looking at $1 million today anytime soon. To get to $1 million, we have to hit 100,000, then 150,000, then 200,000. So and Bitcoin moves in cycles, so it's not going to go from 60,000 straight to $1 million. That's not going to happen. So now that we're knocking on the door of 100,000, what is a realistic price target after 100,000? And for me, the next realistic price target that I'm looking for is going to be around $160,000. Now, why is that? I'm going to explain right now. So we're going to look at assets by market cap, and these are all the assets in the world. So the big daddy asset is gold. So this doesn't include real estate and some other things like art. But when we look at assets like gold and stocks and other commodities, this is what we're comparing it to. So gold right now is 17, almost $18 trillion in market cap. If you take all the gold that is out there in circulation right now, it's about $18 trillion. Nvidia is the largest company at $3.5 trillion. Then you've got these other big tech companies. Now you've got Bitcoin. So Bitcoin recently just passed silver in market cap. Silver is $1.7 trillion. Other than that, you've just got a bunch of other stocks and companies down here. Ethereum is $400 billion. So my thought process here is, to me, it makes sense for Bitcoin to be more valuable than the largest company in the world. Now, Bitcoin doesn't have any cash flows. It doesn't have any expenses. It doesn't have any tangible value that we can put on like stocks do. So Bitcoin is a store of value, very similar to gold. So to me, it makes sense that the next price target for Bitcoin is to be more valuable than Nvidia. So my next price target is the market cap of Bitcoin to reach $3.5 trillion. For that to be the case, the price of Bitcoin is going to be around 160,000 per coin. So that is my next price target. And to me, that would be a reasonable top for this bull cycle. We reach 160,000, something blows up. Maybe it's MicroStrategy, maybe it's an exchange, maybe it's me. I don't know. Something's going to break like we've had in the past. And then the bubble will deflate a little bit. We'll have a 40-50% pullback. We'll go through the bear market. We'll go through the accumulation phase. We'll have the other halving in 2028, whenever that is. And then we'll reach our next all-time high. And then we'll break out to the next leg. So that is what I'm mentally preparing for. And that is what I'm hoping for. Maybe we blow through to 200,000. That'd be great. Maybe this is the top, 100,000. And then something blows up. And then we have our bear market. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. If you have one, please share it in the comments down below. But that is my next price target. And the theory and the logic there is that Bitcoin will be worth more than Nvidia. To me, that doesn't seem too crazy. So if you're a Bitcoin skeptic, you may say, that's crazy. I'd rather have Nvidia than Bitcoin. But the more I study Bitcoin, the more I really see the potential for it to be worth more than gold. Now, maybe down the road, by the time Bitcoin can reach $17 trillion in market cap, so we're talking, another 10x from here, maybe gold is a $30 trillion asset and Bitcoin is a $15 to $17 trillion asset. I don't think gold is going to go down and Bitcoin goes up. I think these things will continue to move up together because the dollar will be worth less. And it's going to take more dollars to buy gold. It's going to take more dollars to buy Bitcoin because they're going to keep printing dollars. So that is my reasonable next target for Bitcoin. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the news because there has been a lot of news when it comes to this week. And so again, not financial advice. When I say that's my next target, I'm not saying now's the time to go buy a bunch of Bitcoin. If you don't have any Bitcoin, do what's best for you. I still think there's another double in the near future potentially for Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean we couldn't drop back down to 70,000 in a month because something happens in the news, like a geopolitical event. Bitcoin drops 40% before making its move up to 160. That's totally in the cards. If we look at Bitcoin and its price movements in previous cycles, it's been a lot more choppy than what we've had recently. So are we at this point in the cycle where we have the initial run up, we cool off, we make another high, cool off, make another high, cool off, make another high? We could be. We could be at this point of the cycle where we make a new high and then we just go right into the bear market. I don't know. I really don't know. Or we have a big, look at this correction that we had. We were at 63. We went all the way down to 30 and then we climbed back up to 70. So who knows? I don't know. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the news. So big news, we're close to 100,000. So this is old. You can't put a price down on paper because every day or every hour it's just really moving in by the thousands every hour. But this is the big news. Gary Gensler has officially said that he's going to resign, I think early January. So I think this is a good thing for the crypto industry. The SEC has been pretty harsh when it comes to regulation for crypto, but I will give them credit. They did allow the Bitcoin ETFs, the Ethereum ETFs, and we just got options on the Bitcoin ETF. Those are wins. So I got to give them props for that. But they also sued a lot of good actors like Coinbase, Kraken, Uniswap, a lot of good actors, and then they completely missed the FTX, the Voyagers. They completely missed them. In fact, they brought them in to help them regulate, and they didn't realize that they were full of crap. So anyways, that's my thoughts on the SEC. Now, this leaves a black hole. Who knows who's going to come in to replace him? But I have a feeling this new administration is going to put in someone that is very understanding of crypto and probably pro-crypto. Now, this is a good thing for crypto, but this also could lead to looser regulations and the potential for more scams and things like that. So when this new administration that's coming in, we also had to live through the NFTs, the SPACs. There was all this money flowing around, and the little investor like me and other people were exposed to some things that were not in their best interest. So be skeptical on what's going to be coming your way. Not everything's going to be rainbows and lollipops. So there's a double-edged sword here. There's going to be more things that are presented to people, but that's also more exposure, which could mean more potential for loss. So putting on my disclaimer hat, be skeptical of some of the things to come. Really do your research and know where you're putting your money, and just don't get crazy here. So crypto-friendly administration, we just talked about that, and the record options trades on IBIT. So I do have a decent amount of IBIT, and I do have some calls sold on IBIT, but it just keeps running. So I may have to roll those out, and I'm waiting for a red day to sell puts on IBIT. I would love to get paid to buy Bitcoin. That's my plan. When we have some red days in the market, I will be selling puts with the hope to get assigned on IBIT. So if you don't have a Bitcoin position, that's a potential way to get income while you're waiting for the price to come down. And if you already have an existing Bitcoin position and you're nervous, maybe you sell some calls to collect some premium and lock in some gains. So that is the main news this week. I'm sure there's a lot of other things out there, but there's a lot of action in the market. You've got MicroStrategy going bananas. You've got Coinbase kind of cooling off. The miners are going crazy. There's a lot of animal spirits in the market. I think I saw the Phantom wallet for Solana is like the #1 utility stock in the app market. I don't like that. So for me, I'm getting a little bit more potential to take some chips off the table. So if I'm 40% have 40% exposure to crypto, I may look to peel 10% off. It's never a bad idea to take profits while you are in the money. I'd rather take profits versus seeing the market come back down and not take any profits and then sitting there not able to fully buy the dip. So I'm pretty heavily invested in crypto. My next position that I will look to unload is going to be Coinbase. It seems to be running out of steam, so I'm pretty aggressive on selling calls, and I have a call expiring tomorrow. If Coinbase closes the day over 310, my shares will be called away, and I'm okay with that because that'll be a nice quick turnaround trade, and I'm still heavily exposed to Bitcoin, and then I'll look to turn around and sell some puts on iBit. So anyways, that is the crypto market update. If you're feeling like it's too late, just remember, I do think Bitcoin has the potential to hit $1 million within the next 10 to 20 years. And it would not surprise me if we get up to 160 in this cycle. Wouldn't surprise me if we go straight back down to 40. I don't know, but you heard my thesis for why 160 makes a lot of sense to me, and that is my next price target. So do what's best for you. Do your own research, and this is not financial advice. All right, have a great day, everybody, and peace out. I will see you at 100K. I will put out a video for 100K. Peace out.